In this episode, we're going to have a chit-chat with a special person. Now, this person has gone through the journey of passion-driven learning, and they are well on their way to passion-driven success. So stick around. Welcome back to the show, Millennials. If we're meeting for the very first time, my name is Joan Chirabo, and I am very passionate about growth and personal development. And on this channel, we share tips and strategies on how to stand out, win at life, and be the best versions of ourselves while at it. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so and ringing the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the value we share on this channel. So let's dive in.
So just you've seen a video of yourself doing your thing. Yeah. Tell me about the son in that particular video.
That Sunny was a go-getter. That point in time, I wanted to do things. I wanted to just make art, and I didn't care whether I had the money or not, who was available, who wasn't available. If someone said they had a camera, the first thing I was thinking was, let's shoot. And I was doing a series. I was thinking about getting onto YouTube more with dance videos. She was a go-getter. I didn't think about what people would be saying or want. It was what I wanted.
So is that son still there, right?
Yeah. But just a little bit suppressed, like just
Why
just a little bit, because you can't just make art and leave the edges rough, you know, because then that becomes that's how people get to know you. But that's how they take you. I want something more finished. I want people to have a more finesse project to see, and I want to give people something they would want, something that is sellable, and you just can't go to a producer and say, oh, I have this really cool idea, I shot it like in 2 seconds, you need to see it. No, they don't want to see a 2-second thing that you thought up, in the morning. They want to see something you've really thought through, that there was a process through, and that's what I want to do.
So it's passion and hard work.
It's passion and hard work. Yeah.
Okay, so the Sanyu in the video, were there any lines that she had to cross, toes that she had to step on to get to where she wanted to be?
Yeah. Okay, so that morning, we wanted to shoot at Namirembe. And we thought we could just go shoot there and do it quickly before anyone sees us. And then the guard came, and the guard gave us this long speech about how we could not shoot there. And so we had to change location. So the second location we got, we did the exact same thing. We sort of sneaked into the premises, scouted the locations, and shot the specific scenes we wanted as if we were just taking selfies, and then got out. So I had to cross that line because I didn't have money to pay for premises.
So tell me about the support system that you have had in regards to chasing after your dreams, your performing arts goals, that you had and possibly still have.
Yeah. I've been fortunate to have a very supportive family. I come from a family of artists, so getting them to understand what I want to do and how I want to do it was not so difficult. My family's been my biggest support. Friends in the same genre have also been a very good support. However, everyone outside that, I find like I need to explain myself to them. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to be at home writing a script when you could be at work sitting behind a desk? And sometimes people don't understand those things. So I would give it to my family and friends in the same genre who have supported me most.
So tell me about what it takes to hear those voices that, like what you just said, why aren't you sitting behind the desk doing an 8 to 5 job? So those voices definitely are there. Tell me how you deal with that in order to keep, going after what you want.
You gotta shut them out. I'm a big believer in what the Spirit tells you, and you only have one life to live on this earth. And if you're living what everyone else tells you to do, then you really haven't lived, and you've become a duplicate of everyone else. And we're all very unique. We all have something we can give to society, to the places that we have been born. People always searching to go somewhere else, but I think there's something so unique in us that is relevant to where we are. And if we went with the Spirit that is telling us inside to do it and just followed our dreams, I think it would be a beautiful concoction of a place. Yeah.
So I'll join these two questions. One is, if in the years that you have lived and in the years that you have spent trying to become that sellable product, have you come across other people who aren't as lucky as you are, who would want to go after this, but for so many reasons they are unable to? Have you come across such people?
Definitely.
And your message to them?
Ooh. My message to them.
Because you're among the few who have been lucky enough to say, this is what I want, and I'm doing everything to go after it. And then you also have a supportive family, but then there are people who are on the other side of the spectrum who would want to go, but for some reason, either it's family, it's friends, it's doubt, it's insecurity, it's so many things that are telling them you can't.
Well, I guess then I would say two things. If it's doubt, if it's money, and if it's what society says, then go for your passion and go for your dream. But if it's dire, like, if I don't do this, then my mom will die, or I'll lose this. If it's going to hurt you a lot, then stay where you are and then wait for that moment in time where you can actually do what you love. Some people say, just drop everything and go for the arts. There are some legit reasons that can keep you away from the arts, and if you have very legit reasons, then stay where you are until all that is sorted. But don't forget what you have, or don't forget to share a bit of it whenever you get a chance with somebody else, because art is sharing, performance is sharing. And even though you don't have the resources or the time, you can always just have a conversation with someone, and that could change the world. You could inspire someone else. But if it's a negligible reason like money and, I'm just not sure that people will like me, please go ahead and try and just do. A personal example is I had an 8 to 6 job. That was great. Anyone would want that job. It was paying well. I was driving a car. I could pay my own bills. But I left that job because I realized that whenever I got a free moment, I was writing a script, I was choreographing a dance, I was on the phone talking about what next film I wanted to do. And when I'd go home, all I could think about was all the extra things I was doing and not my job. So I'd sit in meetings and maybe I would hear the goal of the meeting, or maybe not. And there was something just kicked in me and said, you need to leave. And it was the right moment, and I went with that feeling inside me. And at different points in your life, you get that push inside you that you need to move. I would say, move.
Okay, so have you been lucky enough to go through an education system that helped to push you towards the direction that you were taking?
Yeah. I was homeschooled. Not many people are homeschooled. So in homeschool, you're studying like till 12 p.m. and then the rest of the afternoon you're doing anything you love to do. And so my anything and everything was dancing, writing poetry, swimming, acting. And in high school, High school, I was still dancing as part of a dance group, as part of GGW, as part of Heart of David dance group, and as part of the Kampala Ballet and Music dance team as well. And then in university, of course, I went on to do theater arts. And in theater arts, you have dance, you have music, you have drama. So it just became thicker and thicker and thicker the more I went up.
You spoke about homeschooling and you got me thinking of something. And
Yeah.
do you think that parents or guardians who homeschool their kids, it kind of gives them a more open platform to see what things their children might
Yeah.
be interested in and therefore guide them in that?
Yeah.
So do you think homeschooling is a direction that the education system of Uganda could take to try and get students to study more in things that they are passionate
Well, the
about?
education system in Uganda is one thing, and
Talk
then
about
having
that.
parents is
So
another.
let's talk about both.
So the education system in Uganda is lacking regulations and policies currently, and I've been looking into that. It's not built to harness people's passions and dreams. It's built to make them think tanks, which the government or some outside power can paste their ideologies onto. Whereas in a home, a kid is free to think as they like, to explore ideas, and to be guided in the right direction. To say that the education system in Uganda should be homeschool it can't go because homeschooling is a parental decision, you know, not both parents need to decide, or if you're a single parent, you need to really decide. My parents were fortunate to be super committed to training my brother and I for 10 years, for about 12 years. Yeah, and they did it together. I've seen families where it's just one parent, you know, the mom is like, my kids, and the dad is like, peace out, that's your thing. It doesn't work because the kids are like, what, you know? Because essentially they're learning, yeah, you need to think the same. However, I think an education system that employs less homework and more day-to-day curricula would be useful. So the kids are learning the basics, math, English and literature or writing for like 4 hours. And then the rest of the time they're doing, you know, what everyone else does. They're baking, they're swimming, they're reading a book, they're reciting a poem, they're learning a scripture. One thing I do with my younger brothers in their holidays is take them through speeches of presidents. And it's so exciting to see how they come to life being Mandela or Martin Luther King, and they become so articulate. So when they're reading passages in their schools, the teacher's always like, yo, these guys are like so into it, they get into character, but that's because of what they're doing at home in the holidays. So instead of just bombarding kids with so much work, let them be kids, let them play. There's a time to play, there's a time to study. Of course, in high school, it can become more rigid because people are now streamlining what they want to do. But still, life is not all about books. I was talking to my mom, and was it my mom? Someone. I was talking to someone, and I said, wow, that kid is going to be like a lifetime secretary, because all that kid knew how to do is sit at this desk and read and read and read. Like, they're professional sitters and professional regurgitators of knowledge. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's really sad. The education system, in my opinion, in Uganda needs a revamp of policies, regulations, right from kindergarten all the way to tertiary level. I think in kindergarten, kids should play, just play. Don't graduate from playing, don't even wear the hat, just play. In primary, the arts, the performing arts should be part of the curriculum, not like an extra that you do at 4 o'clock at the end of the day. It could be at 8 o'clock in the morning, you start with a music class. and then it goes on. In tertiary education, I've been talking to students at Makerere, and some of them say that they don't even have practical experience in using lighting devices or a camera. They have to go outside the university to get that. I'm like, so what are you studying at university? And they're like, oh, even most of us didn't even pass high school. I'm like, so how did you even enter the university? Like, oh, most of us don't even have a passion for arts. I'm like, why are you in the Department of Fab, you know? And it was shocking to me, but it's all about papers and certification and qualification. And at the end of the day, even job applications don't say we want a student from the performing arts department. They usually say mass comm, journalism. So you can see that society doesn't even know the benefit of the arts. They're not aware of how many disciplines are involved in the arts. There is engineering, there is science, there is math in the arts, there's thinking, there's philosophy. So yes, policies and regulations, and then changing society's attitude and perception of towards the arts.
I think that's it.
Sorry, is it too much?
No, makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Tanya.
You're welcome.